Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Once again, it's us.
It is us.
We're the Williams.
That's
And
an inside joke for you guys who wonder, like, why do they always say that? It's an inside joke. So,
absolutely. And we're here with another edition of Love Unscripted. And so we just thank you once again for giving us the opportunity to open your hearts and your minds and your time to us so that we can share some of our successes and what God has done and what has caused us to have success in our covenant.
Yes.
So these are just little tidbits, again, just of our successes, and we just want to share them to the world. And hopefully somebody out there will be blessed by it.
Yes, somebody will be blessed because we know how the Lord works.
That's so true.
Yes.
It's so true. That's so true. And he's doing it, and he keeps doing it again.
I thought you were going to do a song. But,
so,
hey, baby, who are we?
Oh, yeah. Great. Hey, guys. So this is my lovely wife. And my name is... Stop it. Don't do it. This is my lovely wife, Ramona.
Hello.
And my name is Wilbert. And today's topic, we need to get on task here.
Yes.
Today's topic is about, I think, what is very important in covenants, what's a driving wheel in covenant. And it's kind of three parts, but it all comes together as one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the threefold chord comes together as one. See how I threw that in there? But it is...
That was good, but it was corny. Okay.
But love, the title is Love, Agreement, and Finances. Right. So,
okay, I'm going to take a brief moment. This is really off script, but this is Love Unscripted. We just had an opportunity to spend some time at a baby shower, a drive-by baby shower, and see some of my husband's friends' family, who, of course now it's my friend and family. And it was so refreshing. It was so good. The mother-to-be is beautiful. She was gorgeous and looks so happy. And the daddy, everybody's just looked beautiful and happy, and it made my husband so happy to see them because we can't see anybody really these days. So anyway, it was just a good moment. I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Yeah, it was so refreshing to get out there and hang with the brothers. Rub shoulders with the brothers. Be men.
I
guess. So I love you, brothers. Hey, so it was wonderful. It was wonderful, great time of family and fellowship. Oh man. So yeah. I'm glad my wife said that. Look at it as my baby. As my baby.
That's me.
Yeah. So again, we're talking about Love Unscripted. We're talking about love, agreement, and finances. And when you look at those three things, those are very, very, very pillars of a covenant.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely have to have love. You definitely and love is, that kind of love that that loves you in spite of moments, circumstances, things that are said, thoughts that you may have, questions that may come up. Just working through and being no longer two but one.
Right.
Working through it.
Yeah.
That's real love. That's staying in there, walking away from you and embracing us.
Right.
And I think that's such an important part of what love does. It weaves you together.
Right.
And then when you get to a point where you begin to walk in love, you begin to walk in agreement.
Yeah.
And when that happens, oh boy.
Yeah.
Tell you.
That agreement thing. And on that kind of note of love, that love that makes you do the things that you need to do in your covenant.
Yes.
Even if you don't want to do them, or even if it's something you've never done before, or even if it seems like, man, maybe everybody else is doing this, But for your covenant, for the love that is in your covenant, and you know it is something that is going to be beneficial, you know, the love that makes you do those things that will allow you to come out on top, you and your spouse to come out on top. So,
Right.
And it's all when I think about it, you know, I think it can be a feeling and it also can be an action. And I think what I'm talking about is just that action that comes from the love. And you know, because I love my husband, I am willing to do X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love my husband, I am willing to come in agreement with him on things that are so vital for the success of our marriage. And so that love that latches on to agreement, like my husband was just saying, and I'm gonna let you finish. Was there anything you wanted to finish?
Yeah, go ahead. I got it.
So the love that latches on to the agreement is so powerful. We have found being in agreement is something that I can't say the things that it might top, but I can tell you the things that come out of being in agreement and on one accord with each other.
You know, it's that do right kind of love. Do right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do right kind of love.
Yeah.
You know, even when you may feel like doing.
Come on, do right.
You may feel like, you know, self may say, I don't want to. Self may say, oh, why?
Come on, babe.
Self may, not feel like doing it. But that do right kind of love says, in spite of. Love in spite of.
Yeah.
Do it because it's right.
Yeah.
Say it because it's right.
Yes.
Feel it because it's right.
And don't make excuses for not doing it right.
No.
You know, just know, because sometimes we know when it's right. We know when things are right. We know when we are going the wrong way, something we shouldn't say, something that we shouldn't do, but we know when those things are right and we should just do them.
Absolutely.
Right? And that love will draw out the do right, and it allows for agreement that allows you to, just succeed in your relationship.
I mean, that do right kind of love will make you drop your pride. It'll make you drop your arrogance. It'll make you drop your know-it-all attitude.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, y'all.
It will.
I'm so transparent. I really, my brain went somewhere else. That do right kind of love will make you drop your. I'm gonna let y'all fill in the blank. We're married, so I can say that. But that's where my brain went to. That's why I had a moment where I paused. But yes, it also makes the do right love makes you.
Yeah. It makes you stand up and be a man in the house.
Ooh,
it makes you stand up and be a wife and a woman in the house, a man and a husband in the house. It'll definitely do that. It'll make you stand strong, stand firm, be bold. It'll make you be a witness to so many other husbands, so many other men of what a man should be in his household.
Come on, babe.
The king of his castle.
That is beautiful.
The priest of his home.
Come on now.
Do right.
Do right. That's exciting.
Yeah. Do right.
And you know, just along with the do right that he's saying, that then do right, because he's the covering, then spills over to me and to the rest of the household.
Yes.
That allows the things that you are doing and look, we know it's not going to be right 100% of the time. You know, let's just be honest about that. But your intentions are that you were going to do right? Because that love that you have, the intentions that you have, it makes you do right, and it brings the best. It will bring the best out of you. And it almost, for me, because I am a competitive person. I like to say my husband is competitive too. I don't know which one is the most competitive, but it makes you want to even. I'm gonna challenge myself, or I'm gonna challenge him. I'm gonna do a little bit more righter. I know it's not a word, but I'm gonna do a little bit more right this time. Not because I want to be better, because it's going to make us better, and it's going to be better for our relationship, our marriage, our covenant, and for our purpose that we have on the earth, which is so important. Because at the end of the day, all of the things that we talk about, the love, the agreement, even the finances, it's not about just us. It's not about our life, how we want to live, how we want things to be well for us and our life and our family and our souls and all that good stuff. It really is about the purpose that God has put us together for, so that we can do what he needs us to do in the kingdom. And so, being able to look at taking those things that we have an ability to have an impact. We can impact each other with love. We
Absolutely.
can impact our marriage in agreement, and we can impact our household, and then outside of the household with our finances. So yeah.
So when you think about that do right kind of love, that's the kind of love that sets in motion a whole nother level of communication, because that builds trust.
Yeah.
That gets the attention of your spouse.
Yeah.
And so when y'all begin to conversate, communicate about different things and thoughts of the future or current events, or what's the next step for the covenant, you find yourselves understanding that the bigger picture is what God has intended for you. So it's no longer about you. It's about us. It's about no longer two, but being one.
And when people see you, when even you see yourselves, when you see yourselves, you see this. You don't see this.
No, you don't.
And the more you see this, when you look at each other, the more you see this in your actions, in your words, which is right in line with that idea of agreement,
right,
the more that you are able to accomplish, the more that you are able to have an impact. Because when people see us, whether we're dressed, because we do like to, wear our same shirts or whatever, or, do whatever, like he has on that R, because that's for Ramona, but, But when we see each other, we want to see one. But people, when they see us,
right,
I think the expectation is that they see one. And if it's not their expectation, when they see us and they see how we operate in one, they probably want to know what is going on. We can then say it really isn't about us. We do love each other. We love being one and being on one accord, but there is a higher reason for that.
Absolutely.
There is absolutely a higher reason for it.
Yeah. The power of agreement does so much for you. It brings everything in alignment. It brings how you handle your home in alignment.
Yeah.
It brings how you handle your daily activities, how you communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Brings that in alignment. How you love one another.
Yes.
Brings all that in alignment. How you reach out to each other daily. It brings so much into alignment. And then what you find that happens is that agreement, that alignment, we call it divine alignment. Things begin to come together in your life that that you can't take credit for on your own.
Yeah.
It has to be because it's divine alignment.
Yeah.
It's because you are in order with the way that God has set things.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, you find that blessings come.
Yeah.
Transitioning to increase comes. The stresses that most people would have, they don't stress you. I'll give you an example. We got a testimony today where a couple they purchased a home, and they were told these horror stories of what it takes to purchase a home. But they came together and said, you know what? Hey, I understand that may have happened to y'all, but they together agreed that, hey, we're going to move forward. We're going to believe by faith. And they said their testimony, they have not had one issue.
Right,
that has been a smooth transition. So, but that's what agreement does. That's divine alignment.
Absolutely.
That's walking together on one accord.
Absolutely.
All of a sudden now those things which trouble other people, that they don't trouble you.
Right.
That it doesn't come into your moment. It doesn't dictate how your outcome will be just because it happened to them.
Right.
I have a saying that everybody's problems isn't everybody's problems.
Right. Come on now. Yeah.
It just isn't. So don't see yourself in their concerns.
Right.
But you got to see yourself according to the agreement that you guys have set forth, and how God is orchestrating things in your life.
Absolutely.
And that's what you rest in. And when that happens, all of a sudden you find increases in every area of your life. You find increase in your health. You find increase in your joy. You find increase in your peace of mind.
Right.
You find increase in things that normally most people will say, oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that. But you don't. You don't we don't relish like that. We don't go into our day like that. Our days are opened up with prayer. Our nights are ended with prayer. Our days are ended with faith. I've gone through, moved by faith.
Yeah.
Our momentum is carried by faith.
Yeah.
We believe that divine alignment is a huge part of that. That means we walk in agreement.
Yeah.
We are on one accord.
Yeah.
We talk about things, and once we agree, we move on it.
We move on it.
We move on it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I was just going to attach the financial part to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because we mentioned in one of our other videos that finances is a big issue for couples and relationships, and rightfully so. It plays such a huge part in your life. Period. Like almost everything that takes place in your life requires finances, money in some type of way.
Yeah.
But we also know, because when two people are coming together, they could have like-mindedness in it, or they could not. And so one of the things that will help, whether you are like-minded when it comes to money matters or you are not like-minded, is to be in agreement. Making a decision that we agree that this is how we are going to run our finances.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
From day one is how, before day one, when we were still in the engagement phase, when we were in the engagement phase, we decided we were going to make certain decisions on how we were going to handle our finances. And in that, if you start from the beginning, start from the middle. I don't care where you start, but at the moment amen. Then the moment you, but amen. At the moment you have come into agreement in your finances, and let me say this too, being in agreement in other areas of your life will help when it comes to being in agreement of the area of finances, right?
Yes.
And so it's something that you can practice in those other small areas that, let's be in agreement on how we wake up in the morning, how we communicate with each other in the morning before we go off to work, or how we go to bed at night. Let's be in agreement on how we handle the things around the house. Those smaller things could give you practice. And I know it may sound like, what, really? But yes, give you practice in having that type of communication with your spouse about being in agreement. I cannot stress enough how important it was, and I'm just going to speak from our perspective, us being in agreement about our finances and where it allowed us to be propelled to.
Oh yeah.
Because I believe with all my heart, if we had not come on one accord and being in agreement, and let me say, it wasn't always a babe, we should do X, Y, and Z, and it was, yes, that's what we're gonna do. Sometimes you need to have a conversation and discussion about the things that need to happen, and then you find yourself coming, okay, like, what is the best thing for our marriage, our covenant? What is the best thing for us to do? And you figure out, we figured out, okay, what are the strengths that we have?
Yes.
And then what things we need to work on together. What are the things that Ramona needs to do? What are the things that Will needs to do? Mm-hmm. And we took care of our finances because we were able to be in agreement. That agreement also led us to being in agreement on how to pay off debt, how to increase credit scores, mm-hmm. how to be able to purchase a home. And anything that we have decided to do we have been in 100% agreement before we made the move. And even so, let me give you, an example of, giving an example of how being in agreement, and you won't always, when I say 100% in agreement, but not necessarily that, what am I trying to say?
Well, that's what I don't,
Okay. I got it. So you're 100% in agreement, but that doesn't mean that, let's say we just make a decision on something and I say, okay, we're going to move forward. I may still have some like, oh, I'm not sure. But that doesn't mean that I can't be in agreement with him.
That's a good point.
See, I needed to work on that one.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I'm not in agreement with him. That means that I'm human and I still have some thoughts and I have ideas about certain things. But we said that this is the direction we're going to go in, and we're going to go in it. And I'm going to stand in that and love to see what the outcome will be at the end of it. Because once we're in agreement, one thing I do know is going to work out.
Right. And the thing is, once you come into agreement and you move on the agreement, faith without works is dead. Once you put that faith in action,
Yep.
you find that God takes over.
Yep.
He takes over.
Yep.
He'll lead God and direct you from there.
Yeah.
Then you just trust him. You come into agreement and you move and you walk out your faith.
Yes.
Walk by faith and not by sight.
Yes.
Watch God take
yes.
over.
Yes. Ooh. Period.
Yeah.
As the kids say these days.
Absolutely.
Period.
So, I just want to say love, agreement, and finances. Those are pillars of a covenant.
Yeah.
Those three things are pillars. And the covenant rests on those.
Yeah.
And they're key. They're important. Right. They're the balance.
Right. And there are other things.
And yes, there are other things.
What we are focusing on, and we believe, especially in where we are in our covenant, things that have worked for us in our covenant, and the things that we've just focused on at the moment, I guess we could say. Well, not at the moment, but just in general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as we said, love came first, then the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because, without love, it profits you nothing. Okay?
And you know what? When you are able to lead in love, oh my gosh. When I say lead, I'm not just talking about him leading as being the head, but whatever I'm doing for our covenant, in our covenant, I'm doing it first out of love. It also makes an agreement part a lot easier.
It makes makes the rest of it work.
Yeah.
It makes the rest of it come together.
Yeah.
And mesh together.
Well, Mr. Williams.
So, once again, we thank you. And I want to say hope to you all. And blessings to you all. Would you like to speak into the life?
Yeah, I speak love. I speak an abundance of love. I speak rain down love that is unconditional, the kind of love that will cover you from your head to your toe and spill over to your spouse. Yes. And also that you will be able to walk in agreement with your spouse.
Come on.
That there is nothing that will be able to get in between the two of you when it comes to your agreement. And when you are in agreement, you have a divine alignment that everything else in your life will also line up according to the will of God, and that you will be so prosperous, so blessed, and live in so much abundance that will even overflow into the world. I thank you, Lord, for everything that you're doing for every person who watches this and whoever it is shared with. It is out into the world, and we thank you that you are going to move by your word.
And with that being said, you're no longer two, but you're one. You're one.
Okay, guys, that is all we have for today.
Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.